Welcome to the Vigilance Committee, and also Harvey Freebird is here with us, and I believe he's live as well right now. And we've got Manuel Mata on the phone. He couldn't get up on the stream yards because he's got bad service here. But Manuel, go ahead and tell us your story and what you need help with.
Hang on. Wait, let's see. Harvey Freebird just went live. Yes. Okay. We're good.
Hey, before we do that, I did a little live stream today where I filed complaints. People were beating me up in the comments because I gave them my ID. I just want people to understand I have filed numerous complaints down there, and they always throw my complaint straight in the garbage when I file them anonymously. So I wanted this complaint to stick. I know they violated my rights. If any lawyer wants to help me file a lawsuit for this minor violation, which it's a major violation, but the problem is there's no damages and it's not worth any lawyer's time to file lawsuits over these Fourth Amendment violations that they're getting away with. And that's why they're getting away with it. Now, their complaint process, which I have it right here, what they do is they basically make you fill out an affidavit on your complaint form, and then they notarize it and make you sign it. So it's like almost filing a legal court document when you file a complaint. And if they investigate that and find out that you lied on it, then they come after you for perjury. That's what they've turned the complaint process into. And I've been through this numerous times. And, I just wanted to update people. I know I shouldn't have had to give my ID, but every complaint I've ever filed anonymously down there, they just throw it in the garbage. So the reason I followed this process is because I want this complaint to stick, because I'm attaching myself to this girl's case. Now, with that being said, let's move on.
All right, and just so everybody knows too, there's going to be a lot of changes coming in Galveston. We're going to fight these fights as we continue on in Galveston. But for right now, Harvey's going to do it his way, and I think it's just something we have to go through. It's steps and processes here. But yeah, we've got. Can Manuel hear me on his phone?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, hang on just a minute. For everybody on Harvey's channel, we can see your comments, but Harvey can't answer right now because he is on the phone with Manuel. So I'll try and bring him to attention if need be.
Perfect. So go ahead and just tell us what's going on, Manuel. Tell us your story. We're going to try to get some funds for you, buddy. Tell us what you need.
Okay, well, what I need is help with retaining CJ Grisham, because that's the only attorney that I found that's willing to fight these cops and the DAs and all the judges in Fort Worth, aka Tyrant County. And I've been talking to him for a couple of days, and we've came to I think it's reasonable for the two arrests that I just recently got arrested for when I was with Carolina, when they pulled her over and they said she didn't have headlights, and all I did was open the door and put my camera out of the door to film. There was a truck that stopped, and I just wanted to film that, how they were crying about interference, and I just wanted proof that someone was really interfering. And they didn't say nothing to them. So that's why I was like, what's going on? And I got arrested that night. And then a couple days later, I got arrested again for filming a guy that, I ended up in the same jail cell with him, right, where we filmed him. And he had told me that they never pulled him over, that he had stopped because he was having car troubles. And he wasn't able to, go where he needed to. So he pulled over to the first available, turn-in space. And he said that's when the cops were all around him because they thought he was drunk. And he said he didn't even drink out of the beer he had because he had just got it. And that's where he was leaving from the store. And I went to jail because I asked the cop to specifically point to a line he wanted me to get behind. So those two cases are the ones that I'm trying to get CJ to help me with, and he's charging me $2,500 for both of those cases, and in total it'll be $3 because we already paid him for. Well, Harvey did for the first. The 3 cases that I have right now, that I'm out on bond for right now. And I'm trying to hire CJ to defend me in these 2 charges for interference, which they were not.
I did pay for the first one, and that's the first time I think that's been said publicly. You know, which just goes to show you I'm not trying to, I didn't do it for the clout, man. I did it because I'm tired of them messing with you. You know?
Yeah. And so, I didn't tell you I was going to say that, but
yeah, it's all good. That's it. Hey, it's up to you.
It's like this, man. I try to, I guess you could say, like, try to remain within the bounds of the law, specifically stating the interference that they seem to be able to misconstrue in trials, and actually when you're actually doing it, because for some weird reason, they don't understand that just because it says distracts or disrupts, it means that's why it specifically states those words. Because if you look them up in the Black Laws Dictionary, those words means physical actions, right? That's why they put subsection D, which means that speech alone cannot be considered interference. And what you're seeing on my videos, Harvey's, Carolina's, and everyone who films around here, right? They're not understanding that just because it says, well, you took my attention away, that's not it. It can't be because we're saying something to you.
Let me add something here real quick, and then I'll pass it right back to you, Mata. The reason why they're doing that and they're not understanding, even after you beat 7 cases and I beat 2, is
they understand.
The minute they admit they understand, they lose qualified immunity. As long as they're stupid and ignorant, and like, we didn't know, then they got qualified immunity. Now, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please continue on. But that's why they're doing it.
No, but they do know. They specifically do know, especially the Fort Worth Police Department.
Yeah,
because they've known how this goes since 2018. Since Philip Turner, the Batusai, came down here and took them all the way to the 5th Circuit where they lost. Right?
Yeah.
Because they even tried to get a specific distance, and they couldn't do it because no one wanted to address it, which they gave them time, place, and manner. And when you look up their policies where it states, and each officer has to understand it too, because it's in their policy, right? So it isn't that they can say, oh, I didn't know, because whenever they're made into cops and they go through their policies, this is one of them. So whenever they go through the process of understanding First Amendment rights, filming and all that, because it was made into a clearly established law, which they can't ignore, right?
And in those videos that you have too, Mata, you notified them, you put them on notice in those videos too. So, a lot of people
they're doing it because they think they're still going to be able to be held under that standard of qualified immunity. But see, the thing is, they even make people misunderstand qualified immunity. It only protects them from frivolous lawsuits. See, and for some reason down the road, that word got taken out. But if you look it up, it'll say frivolous lawsuits, which means false, right? And what happens is us as auditors, or whatever you want to call yourself, right? We have to understand that. And me personally, I have this biggest problem. If I know I'm right and I'm dealing with people that I know they know it, but they're refusing to understand it, you lose this part that's like common sense. It's like it leaves you because now you get triggered just like they do. And that's where I'm at right now, right? Because They kept pushing me, and I knew I was right this whole time, but they keep doing it, and laughing about it. And these last times, they're getting personal. So that's when I said, you know what? I'm going to have to do this a different way, because I know one thing. Eventually, they're going to say the wrong thing to me, and then I'm going to give them what they want, right? And I only say that to give everyone else a view of whenever you prove them wrong, right? You find out their playbook and use it against them. Then you become something that they don't understand how to control. So then their training kicks in with this control, get a hold of you, throw you to the ground, and then just change the whole scenario when it's time to, oh shit, what did we just do? You know, because when you get them there, then they don't know what to do no more. So all that's left is they lie on you. And we have police reports that state that. There's body cam footage that does the same thing. So it's like I'm asking for help because there's an attorney, CJ Grisham, that is willing to come to Tyrant County and not be bullied, not be intimidated, and not be pressured by these district attorneys and prosecutors that they get awards and they get egos for screwing people over.
And let me chime in real quick, because what he just said is absolutely true, because CJ just got a felony and a misdemeanor. He beat those for me in Tarrant County. The most recent one was just dismissed last week. So he is not playing. He's not pandering to the district attorney. He wants an outright dismissal, or we're going to trial. He's filing motions. He's aggressive. So yeah, everything Manuel just said is true. I'm living proof of it. He beat both of my cases that I hired him for in Tarrant County. Manuel, how can people help you if they want to help? Are people? Is Melissa? Well, what's that noise, Manuel?
It's chime.
Oh, you got to stop that, dude. Stop it, or get away from it. Get away from that.
It's a wind chime.
Yeah, can you walk away from it, dude? It's horrible noise. Yeah.
All right.
Melissa, or has anybody been paying attention to the chat? Or they
Yeah.
posted his links?
Melissa, please post his links. All mods, if you can post his pay links, that'll help. And
Melissa did post
I
the links on Harvey's side, and I posted them on ours.
Okay, keep posting them. Melissa, I did send you the text of the StreamYard's link.
Cool, man. We'll get to talk to Melissa. All right, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you again, Manuel. If you weren't done, continue on.
No, that was basically the gist of it, man. To fucking get help to stop these dudes, man. Because look, I had an attorney, right? And I thought the way he approached me, he came when I got arrested at Erin Dean's trial, the murder cop, the cop who killed an innocent lady in her house.
Atiana Jefferson, yeah.
That day. Yeah, I was arrested that day, right? So when I'm in jail, this lawyer named Daniel Sullivan comes and visits me in jail and says, hey, my friend sent me to come help you. And I told him, you know who I am, right? He goes, of course. You know how many cases I have? He's like, yeah, there's a few. I said, so why are you here? So he told me his little spiel about how he fights corruption and he has a whole team and all that, blah, 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 right? So I said, okay, all right. So he said, look, whenever you get out, reach out to me and we'll talk about it. And at that time, Tarrant County had filed a complaint against CJ to where he couldn't defend me no more, where he had to get off my case because he had to deal with his complaint against his bar license. So they did it intentional. So I don't know where this guy came from, because when I asked him who that person was, he told me some name I've never heard before. So I'm like, what the, it didn't make sense. But anyways, I trusted him. I believed him. Went to trial, straight loss, right?
He set you up, man. That guy Daniel Sullivan set you up.
Yeah. So even afterwards, right? Because I made an agreement with him. I told him I won't testify at my trial, right? Because he didn't want me to. So I said, okay, we'll get my property back from them, because they still have 5 cell phones. They have 4 cell phones. They have 2 body cameras and a tablet. And my bike. I need all that back from them. And I need you to file an appeal. an appeal bond as soon as they convict me. He goes, you're not going to. I said, bro, just file it for me when they convict me. So yeah, I already knew what was going on. I'm sitting watching the whole thing go down. So I already knew what was going on, right? So that was the deal I made with him, and I never got nothing from him. I tried asking him for a year. It's been a whole year since they dismissed these cases, and I still haven't got him to sign no papers. Well, he did it intentional. He filed one motion when they told him he needed two. So I still can't get my property, and it's been almost a year since my case has been dismissed. So it doesn't, that's why I said, if you don't understand these lawyers and how they can mess you around, I'm telling you right now, be careful who you listen to. And if they're not for this fight, because it takes a certain type of lawyer to understand what's really going on and how to explain it in ways we can't, right? So that's why I like CJ, because he used to be a 2A auditor and he knows exactly what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I contend too that when these defense attorneys do not do their job right, and they set 1A community up for failure, I think we need to put them on blast, do some reviews on their channels on a live, and get them down to a 1-star instead of a 4-star or 5-star. And DMA has done a lot of those for police departments, sheriff departments, and just stay on the live until we can get everybody that's in the chat to go and give them a review and give them a negative one, to where people will stay away from them.
That's
Because
a
if they're going to
freaking
be
awesome
shysters,
idea.
they deserve what they get.
I want to do that with Mark Scott, man. That's a great idea. I tell you what, that video that
I'm in.
that video that I put out about him completely shamming me, he had a 4.9 stars rating, and after that video, it dropped down to 4.4. I want to get that down lower, man, and I really like that idea that you or the scenario you just displayed for us, Cliff. I'm going to do that.
We got to fight fire with any kind of fire we can use in a legal way.
Yeah. So if anybody listening wants to just go over to Mark Scott's Google reviews in Fort Worth and give him a 1-star review, he pled me guilty without my permission to a misdemeanor because a guy flipped me off and I flipped him off back. This garbage ass lawyer pled me guilty without my permission for a First Amendment protected activity. Mark Scott, Fort Worth, Texas. 1-star review. Don't ever use him. He's a piece of trash. He was recommended to me by Cody Highroller.
So how much money are we talking about that you need right away for CJ Grisham? Is he willing to take some sort of a down payment? I know that the total bill you said was what, $3,500?
Well, I didn't ask him that. I just asked him the total.
What do you say?
I asked him how much, like, for the 2 cases that I have left.
Okay.
How much was it again, Mata?
2,500.
He's 2,500.
Okay.
I'm sure, if we could put $1,000 in his pocket, he would. There ain't no lawyer in the world that's going to turn down a $1,000 down payment.
Well, and it's a pretty good deal too for an attorney to take on a couple of cases like this.
Oh, absolutely.
So whatever you folks can give, I mean, $5, $10. Really, I like to see the numbers of people giving, not just huge donations. Just do $5, $10, whatever you can do, and do more. Obviously, if you can, if you've got if you've got some money to really help in a big way, do it. Do whatever you can. We need as much as we can get Manuel, so that he can get CJ Grisham to help him on these cases. So,
absolutely. Mata, you got a lot of background noise coming through here again.
Yeah, I have to go buy my ticket to get back.
Wow.
That's where I'm going.
Wow. Going to buy a bus ticket?
Yeah, to get back to Fort Worth.
Oh, he's going to buy a bus ticket right now to get back to Fort Worth.
Yeah, I'm unmuted until y'all ask me specific questions.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it doesn't sound that bad now, so. Four Corners. What's up? So, anybody have any questions for Manuel Mata? How many charges is it that you have again right now, Mata?
I have 3.
3.
Well, 2,
Is it Mark D. Scott?
CJ for it, but it's a total of 3, and they're for interfering.
It's the Mark Scott that's in Fort Worth. There's another Mark Scott that's in Dallas. Please don't get them mixed up. I don't want to leave a 1-star review on some guy I don't even know. Let me Google it real quick and I'll tell y'all.
Okay.
Mark.
All right. While he's doing that, guys, everybody here on the Vigilance Committee, I want to thank you for joining us. I'm not able to keep up with chat, but I do want to say hello to everybody who's saying hello to us.
It is Mark D. Scott. Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Garbage ass lawyer. Let's
So
get him
just
down.
Jump over there and do a review, and whatever you you heard the story. He pled Harvey guilty without his permission. So just go over there and come back.
And that's the only case that, I've been arrested 4 times, cop watching, auditing, and that is the only case that I didn't beat. And it should have been the easiest case to beat out of all of them. But that's what happens when you hire a crap lawyer, just like what Manuel was saying. If you hire the wrong lawyer, you're screwed, man. And Cliff, we're starting to, I don't know, we're not going to get into that real deep, but we're starting to see that in other places too.
Hey,
Absolutely.
where is Manuel at now?
Manuel, they want to know where you're at. I don't know if you want to share that or not. It's up to you.
Oh, I'm in Harlingen, Texas.
Arlington?
Harlingen.
Oh.
Harlingen or something like that.
Harlington with an H. It's down South Texas, right?
Yeah.
And he's got to be in Fort Worth when?
When do you got to be in Fort Worth, buddy?
On the 6th.
On the 6th. That's Friday, right? No, that's Thursday.
It's Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday.
That's a court date?
Yeah.
CJ's going to be there or what?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Has he signed on as your lawyer yet, or he wants this money first?
I think that's what he's trying to get first. Because I have to be there regardless if he does or not.
Yeah. Hey, look, man, CJ's a really nice guy, and you're not going to find a nicer guy as an attorney.
No, that's what I'm saying. When you told me that price, I mean, it's true because I called another lawyer and they wanted I think he said 6, 7.
Yeah, they want 4 or 5 grand. Yeah.
And if we went to trial, he was going to charge me another 2,000, 3,000 just for the trial.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying, man. CJ's a great guy, and he does a lot for the community, but he can't do shit for absolutely free. I mean, you know, the man's got to have gas in his car, and, so.
He said that money was going to go for all the motions, because he's saying that he's having to file a bunch of motions right now for the case that he is on. So he anticipates what's going to happen with these next 2 because they're really putting up a fight.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. What's going on with did you have anything else you wanted to add, Mata?
No, just whatever y'all help us with will be greatly appreciated because this is for a good attorney to fight crooked people. It's not like something that we're not going to use for something good. He's a good guy, and he's in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Not just to get rich.
Yeah.
He's not greedy. He's not none of that stuff. He's actually wanting to help.
Yeah.
But being realistic, it's like I said, gas money.
Yeah.
And all the things he's going to file on behalf of our cases. It's
yeah.
That's the whole reason why we're doing this, to get, people to help us do this. Because like I said, man, even being on bond right now, I couldn't do it by myself.
No.
You know, it's reaching out to the community that supports what we do.
Okay. And speaking of being out on bond, you're out on what, 3 bonds right now, Mata?
Yeah, I'm on 3 bonds totaling $7,500 right now.
I think me and you had this conversation a week or two ago, but I think the community would like to know. It's pretty safe to say that with you being out on all these bonds, that you're taking a break from cop watching in Fort Worth for a little bit.
Yeah.
It is the wise
And
thing.
nobody blames you. Nobody blames you. You got to lay low for a little bit.
Because like I stated earlier, they're not playing fair and they're lying.
No.
So that's 2 things that you're not going to be able to beat while they're grabbing you. So
Yeah.
and then plus also it's like I have to appreciate what people are doing for me to be out here, and that's the biggest thing to understand. It's like people are giving up something that's theirs because they believe in what I'm doing. So that's why I'm gonna slow down a little bit, because I want to be out here and being able to make other videos and expose things like what's happening right now with the jail in Fort Worth, where they're continuing to kill people in there.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff like that I want to be out here for, to expose, not per se be one of the people up front that are like, hey, what's going on? You know, just to document what things are going on.
Yeah.
You know, even if people send me their videos, I'll start sharing their videos and stuff like that until all this is over with, and then, you know, we'll go from there.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So you have court on Thursday, right?
Yeah, on the 6th.
What's the actual name of the courthouse?
I think it's Tom Wilder Courthouse or Tim Curry or something like that.
And that's in which town?
It is Tim Curry.
It's in Fort Worth, Texas.
Tarrant County. It's Tarrant County Court.
Okay.
Yeah, and look, at $2,500 for those 3 cases, I mean,
it's not expensive at all.
That's not expensive at all, man. That's really doing you a service. And at that price, he's just trying not to lose any money with that price. He's not trying to make any money off of Mata on this or the community. He wants to help Mata, but he can't do it for free and pay for it out of his own pocket.
Yeah, any other attorney would charge double that. So
yeah.
That's what they charge to go to trial.
Yeah, because when on my first 3 arrests, they happened before CJ got his law license, and I was paying in two circumstances. I paid $4,000 for a lawyer for 1 misdemeanor, and these lawyers didn't do anything, man. They laid down. They were gonna hold my hand and take me all the way to trial and watch me get convicted. But I was smart, and before these cases were over with, CJ got his license, and I fired these pieces of crap, even though I'd already paid them. I fired them and paid CJ to take over, and it was the best decision I ever made. CJ got these 3 cases dismissed in months when these other lawyers drug them out for 1.5 years and didn't do crap. Yeah.
So I kind of want to speak to the audience here just for a few minutes anyway.
Go for it.
I would like everybody from the Vigilance Committee to go over, subscribe to Harvey Freebird's channel and Manuel Mata's channel. Let's make sure we put those links in there. And I think Harvey will say vice versa as well.
Yes, go subscribe to Cliff. He's a major cornerstone in this community.
Well, don't subscribe to Cliff. Subscribe to the Vigilance Committee.
The village, yeah, he does so much behind the scenes for this community, you guys. That's why I'm on. That's why we're doing a live stream together. He is really doing a lot of good.
And Nikki's my partner. I wouldn't be able to do it without her, man, because I got severe tremors on my hand and I can't do a lot of typing. So she is, and plus Harvey, how did she get this set up for us, right? We didn't know what we were doing.
she had to show me how to restream this. So that goes to show you how smart I am, man.
Yeah. Well, it's just such short notice for everything, putting this together. It's, she's awesome. So and
appreciate
Melissa
that.
Stedman, you've helped a lot in putting this together too.
Melissa too, man. Melissa's a warrior behind the scenes.
Yes, she is. So are all these mods in here. And then,
Yeah.
you know, we even got Wanda Mize in here, who's got
Yep.
the same style as Manuel Mata. He doesn't take any shit. So,
And any of the mods in here on the Vigilance Committee, please post Harvey's link, Harvey Freebird, and Manuel Mata's link. It's Manuel Mata 2, TOO.
Yeah. And if any moderators in my chat, please share the Vigilance Committee's link. They are doing, we were talking about how much CJ's doing for the community. The Vigilance Committee is behind the scenes doing a lot of good too, man. I mean, really. I mean, he's helping people he's never even met before, 4 or 5 states away. Like, serious help. I'm not going to get into details because that's his business, but I'm highly impressed, and he's a good man, and he's been helping a lot of people. Yeah, highly
thank you for that, Harvey.
Highly respected through the community. And I tell you what, everywhere I go, I got a little bitty list about this, like a cheat sheet in my wallet with people's phone numbers on it in case I go to jail and I need to call somebody. And Cliff's name is on that list, baby. I promise you that. So thank you, Cliff.
Absolutely. It's an honor. You're doing awesome work, Harvey. Awesome work. We're going to create change in Galveston. That's important to everyone, and Texas and the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Every state in the union. We are the Vigilance Committee, and we're looking for more vigilantes to help. So,
Yeah, man, freaking awesome. Where'd you? Well, never mind. That's a personal question. Well, I'll save that for later. Mata, you still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here listening to you.
Mata's still here.
so Manuel, do you have your paid links set up to give you alerts?
Yeah, it's $15 so far.
Okay, awesome.
Cool, man.
Okay, so whatever you guys can give, $5, whatever. Just
Yeah.
you know, whatever you can do it. And if you can do more, do that as well.
Yeah. So Mata, if you decided to go cop watching again, which I know you're not going to because we've already discussed this, and they arrested you again, they would revoke all your bonds again, and then how much would it cost you to get out the next time?
$7,500 for each one.
For each one, and then plus the new one.
Yeah. So he'd be sitting there.
Three $7,500 bond, and then plus another one for the new charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was $7,500 cash to get him out a couple of weeks ago. So if it happens again,
we'll be looking at like $30,000 to get you out, and that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, you know, Mata, I love you to death, but if you get arrested again, you might have to ride it out, buddy. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, you're sitting there like Matthew Reardon.
That's why I actually took a break, man. Like,
yeah,
I went somewhere different. I just needed to breathe, bro. Because sometimes this does get stressful. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of times that just like the whole process of going to jail, coming out, going in, going out, it's like it takes a toll on you because they put me in places where they know that someone's gonna create conflict, and that's what they thrive off. And you have to be the bigger person because you know that if you do defend yourself, you're the one that's gonna actually get in trouble because of who we are. So
I don't think a lot of people realize that either. A lot of you guys out there, boots on the ground, you're in a lot of danger, and you're not making a lot of money doing this. It's got to be in your heart, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. And you're fighting for everybody's rights, and people need to get behind you and support all of you. And so we're just doing our small part here, and Harvey's doing the work. You've been doing the work. All these auditors out there, all the boots on the ground, independent journalists, activists, you guys are doing the hardest work. And we're going to do whatever we can to support. So that's just where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I'm gonna set this phone down for a minute. I gotta use the restroom.
Okay.
Mata, you can talk. I'm gonna set the phone down right here.
All right. No, I just like, you know, the only reason I keep doing it or was out there like that because of what they were doing to people in my community. Because even if you start out and you start getting them and you start making a wave or whatever it's called, right? They'll say, okay, we'll leave you alone. We won't arrest you. We'll respect your rights. But then what about everyone else? Like the people that are actually getting messed with, right? Because being realistic, Fort Worth Police Department doesn't have their scanners where you could hear them because they have passwords and they don't give them to nobody. So you literally have to drive around and find these guys, like messing with people. And what I've been able to do is like pinpoint where they're normally at because, well, two things. I've lived in most of these neighborhoods, and then I get videos of people that don't want me to post their videos because they'll get retaliated against. They don't have a YouTube channel. They don't have someone that's gonna make a stink about them getting arrested. So it scares a lot of them. So that's why I keep going out there because it's like, y'all gonna respect my rights, but what about everyone else? And that's why I keep doing it. And I don't want to forget about everyone else. I can't let this get to where it's about me, because then I will lose. Because I've made this selfless, then I can't lose. You know, if it's about other people and what other people are going to get, it has to be irrelevant that nothing I do is going to benefit me or stop anything from happening to me. It's only going to benefit others. And if you can keep that in your head while you're doing all this, it'll be worth it, because that's what I tell myself when I get frustrated and I get mad because they take 6-7 days to release you. Yeah, that's what I remind myself. It's not going to happen to someone else.
Yeah, we just did a show on Four Corners, and he does a lot of cop watching there in Farmington, New Mexico, and we noticed that there's a pattern. They'd pull people out, drag them out of their vehicles, but then he'd show up with a camera, and then they just get a failure to stop ticket and sent on their way. So it's that camera saves people, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. So, folks, even people that are the bootlicker like I used to be, when you see a traffic stop and you see somebody with a camera, hey, they're there to help you. They're there to make sure that your rights don't get violated. So,
and not only
and
that,
you should support them.
You get to document, like they say that they pull someone over. Okay, let's say, for instance, they pulled them over because they didn't use a signal or they were speeding, right? And what I've managed to capture is they'll pull them over for something like that, but all the questions they're asking them don't pertain to the traffic stop no more. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Is there any drugs, weapons in the car? And so a lot of them, they'll take them out of their vehicle and search them. And I had a video where they literally pulled the dude's pants down and searched at some shorts he had underneath. And the whole time they didn't have anything. So then the cop says, okay, you didn't have anything. Go about your day, sir. Have a good day. But never wrote him a ticket for what he got pulled over for. And that's something people need to pay attention to, too. Because these traffic stops are not fishing expeditions. The traffic stops, if I run a light, if I run a stop sign, if I don't use my traffic light, if I'm speeding, give people their ticket and let them go about their day. Don't spend 2 hours trying on a fishing expedition, because then you can't respond to calls that are actually people committing crimes. And that's the dilemma. That's why I'm being targeted, because I'm finding these instances where they can't deny them, because people lie, videos don't. And that's why I film these interactions, because they will lie on you, especially if they get it wrong.
Yep, absolutely. That's a wonderful point, and people need to know. And so next time folks see a cop watcher out there, just know that they're there for as the objective witness, because cameras don't lie. Period. You got anything, Nikki?
I mean, you said it, Cliff. Like you said, we need to let the normal person know if somebody with a camera shows up, they're there to protect you. They're not there to, just put you out on the internet. They're there to actually stop the tyranny from happening. There's people out there who will say, "Oh, but you can't film me. You need my permission. I've got to sign a piece of paper." No, you don't. If you're
Yeah.
in public, there's so many cameras that are already recording you. What's one more?
Yeah, and a lot of people think that these cop watchers are just agitators. They wanna agitate the police. Well, um, that's just simply not true. They're there to record the interaction between the officer and the people that they're interacting with, and they try to just stay silent. But cops don't like to be filmed, and they try to either get in the way, block the camera, come at you, say you need to step back, you're interfering, you're doing this, you're doing that, and it's wrong for them to do that, and so some auditors will mirror what the cops are doing. If the cops being disrespectful, they're going to be disrespectful back. Um, and some auditors are just disrespectful because they've they've had to deal with them for so long that they just don't like them and they call them names or whatever. That's the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, and it doesn't distract them from their job. If that's going to distract them from doing their stop, then they're squirrels. You know, get a thicker skin, police officers. You're supposed to be more professional than that.
And watch out for them acorns. Those acorns are a bitch.
That's just where I was going to go. If cameras distracting them, then man, I bet them acorns definitely distract them.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's my main rule from now on when I cop watch. I make sure there's no oak trees around.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that we're doing this right now because isn't it ironic that CJ was almost unalive today? CJ
Yeah.
Grisham.
I saw the tail end of his live stream a minute ago, and I heard him reference that, but I haven't seen the video yet. So I will go over and watch that as soon as this is over with. Yeah. Did you see it,
Yeah.
Cliff?
No, I just caught a little bit of his live and heard the story. He was in who was it? Who's the auditor that he was with? That I think
Texas
it was
Sheepdog.
Texas Sheepdog. Yeah,
Who
it was Texas Sheepdog's house. They were doing a raid.
CJ says he's innocent, and I trust CJ. So that's all I got to say about that. And that's all CJ said, that he's innocent, and everybody just let the process play out.
Yeah, those cops showed up at his house at that house though, and they didn't even announce themselves. They tried to come in through the back door.
Yeah,
secret squirrely like. That's not that you're not supposed to do that.
yeah,
CJ took his weapon out.
yeah.
It was branded, and that cop almost got shot.
CJ don't play, man. Every time I've met CJ, he is strapped, even going into the courthouses, because there's a law that says law enforcement officers are allowed to carry in the courthouses, and he is, legally he is a retired law enforcement officer. Yeah. So, and he tells those security guards all the time. He shows them his, I don't know what kind of card. I forget the name of the card, but he carries a card for retired law enforcement officers, and he has the penal code and everything. And yeah, CJ is carrying a gun every time he's in the courtroom. And that makes me feel safe. So, yeah, he's a big Second Amendment guy.
Yep, and we're lucky to have him. It's hard to find a civil rights attorney that's a fighter like him.
Yeah.
We need more of them, that's for sure. And we're looking for them. Trust me, we are looking for a lot more good criminal attorneys and good civil rights attorneys. So,
yeah, I'm kind of impressed with this Baez guy. That
I am too.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in my my list. I don't know if you guys want to get into that. Maybe that's for a different show.
No, I don't mind promoting Luis Baez. He's been communicating very well with myself and Matthew Reardon, and we think we got this extradition case. There was supposed to be, I guess Friday is going to be a hearing on Matthew Rudin's extradition case. So we're looking forward to that, and we're thinking that we're going to get this stuff nipped in the bud pretty soon and get Matthew out of jail. So
He has his pre-trial hearing on the same day.
yep.
So, yeah. And so, Mata, you got court on Thursday, you said, right?
Yeah.
You know, I might be in, I'm waiting. You know, the last time I was in Fort Worth, I had some dental work done. And what they put in my mouth right now is temporary. They have a computer making my real permanent teeth. And, you know, they might call me tomorrow or the next day and say, your teeth are ready. And I might be there in Fort Worth for your court date. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. But where I was going with this is, if there's anybody in Fort Worth that can show up and support Mata on Thursday at 9 o'clock, Manuel?
Yeah.
9 o'clock on Belknap, Tarrant County Courthouse. If there's any people in the Fort Worth area watching, show up and show him your support, man. He would love to meet you guys, you know?
Absolutely.
He's really a nice guy. Don't be afraid by all the tattoos and stuff. He's really a good dude.
Yeah,
Looks can be deceiving, that's for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm a big old teddy bear, man.
Yeah. Well, that's not true. You're not that big.
No, all right, a medium-sized teddy bear.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So, okay, so your court Thursday, Mata, is that for all three of your recent arrests? Have they bundled them together, or is that just for one of them?
Not yet. The only one, the one that's scheduled for that day is the one where Kruger pulled the gun on me.
For jaywalking.
Yes.
Man, I wish we would have had that video queued up because we don't have any video of when Kruger pulled the gun on Mata for jaywalking, but we do have video of me and Manuel Mata and Carolina and Whitebeard. We went back there the next weekend on 7th Street in Fort Worth, and we found Kruger, and I mean, we unloaded on him for a half an hour straight. He had middle fingers.
Verbally unloaded.
Yeah, this guy had middle fingers 2 inches away from his face for almost an hour. And, you know, when I wasn't berating him, Manuel was berating him. Then Whitebeard, I would have to catch my breath, and then Whitebeard would berate him. And then we even got Carolina in the mix. You know, it was freaking great, man.
So, folks, that's why you see agitation. It's because of other things that were wrongs. So it's not just that they're not really agitators unless they're provoked. So there's always been some provoking by these police officers, and it really pisses off our boots on the ground, and they have a right to be upset about things. So when you see them out there doing what they're doing, just know that there's a good reason for it.
Yeah.
So,
I know I was saying earlier that I have a little list with people's names on it if I get arrested. There's a lot of people in this community that do a lot of good behind the scenes, and I noticed Melissa Stedman was in the chat, and I noticed Luce Cunt was in the chat, and you know, shout out to those guys. And I also have their names written on that same piece of paper. I have Cliff's. It's a very short list, but I know that, you know, when shit hits the fan, I can trust these guys and they'll help. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, hell yeah. Mata, you got anything else you want to add?
I just want to reiterate, we're at $40 now, but I just want to reiterate, man, I appreciate everything y'all doing, helping us get these stories out, not making it, because a lot of times this feels like, you know, like I said, it's trying on a lot of people, man, and I just want, like, just to say thank y'all, man, because a lot of times, you know, it does feel like no one's behind us. Like, no one cares that we're in jail. No one cares that we get arrested. But it's instances like these. Like, people reach out to me, you know, personally and say, hey, man, keep your head up. Keep up the good fight. And I just want to thank those individuals that do that because, you know, like I said, man, this stuff, you know, there's a lot of things they want to label us as, but the only thing that we are is pissed off citizens that's had fucking enough. And they shouldn't be mad about how I choose to talk to them. Be mad when I do something actually that does threaten your safety or something that does create you to feel unsafe. Don't be mad because I call you bees and tell you to suck something or a DF click member, man. Take it. You signed up for it. No one asked you to. No one asked you to put on a uniform and come out here and do these tyrannical actions. So you just take whatever words come out of people's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all we have to defend ourselves from these people's actions. So if
Absolutely.
they understand that these are words, right? Words. Y'all have bulletproof vests. If it protects bullets, it should protect these words that make y'all so emotional.
Yeah.
and most of all, just, you know, to the community that, you know, I like how, even though we don't know each other, how quick something's put together for a person. That's what I like about these communities.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You know, and I have to agree with loose cunt. The tides are turning. We are making progress. I mean, last year, 2 years ago, we hardly ever saw stories that the 1A community or the cop watching community was putting out on the normal mainstream news. Just in the past couple of months, I've seen a couple of stories that were first brought to light by our community on regular mainstream news. And it's like, okay, so even though we all think that what we're doing, it's not going to matter, it's not going to make a difference, it is. We all need to pull together. We all need to support each other in any way that we can and just keep going. We need to keep making the waves and bringing it to attention.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And we do need a lot more mainstream media to get on board because this is their own. It's the First Amendment, freedom of press, and if we're not allowed freedom of press, it's an individual right. It's not just a news channel. It's an individual right. We have a right to press our government into acting with nobility. And if they can do it to all of these auditors out here, that does that mean? I think maybe the mainstream media has been controlled by the government for a while,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
you know that I think there's some shady things going on with our government that people just aren't aware of. And so you know you hear these stories about fake news that these things don't ever get aired, but I think they're going to start airing more and more of these things because they realize that they could be next on the chopping block, and we have to come together as a country, as a nation, as citizens, to make these changes that we're trying to make with our government, make sure that they don't get out of line. So, and you guys are a big part of that. So,
I had something I was going to say that was really cool, but I forgot what it was.
I do, Lou. I make a very good steak.
Oh yeah. We should send Loose Cunt the link and let him come up sometime.
I think he's camera shy. I don't think I've ever seen him on a live panel.
He's a good dude, man. I talked to him.
I know he is.
I talked to
He's
him.
a huge supporter.
Yes. I will be getting up there sometime in that area. John Danicola, you need to. I'm pretty sure John Danicola lives in Fort Worth. I think I met him one time at one of Manuel Mata's court dates. Does that sound right, Mata?
No.
No?
No, I think he's from Florida.
Okay. Who was the guy?
I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. It was somebody else, and I can't remember his name. Hey, man, the memories start slipping, man.
It's all good. It's all good. Just as long as you don't forget your rights. That's what's important.
Yeah.
There's two great supporters on my screen right there, and then there's John Denicola as well.
John D. Yeah, it's my boy.
Yeah, he's been in it since day one, man.
Yeah, I remember those names. Lou's Gun, John Nicola, Melissa.
Oklahoma Outlaw Audits got me connected with Four Quarters, and we did a show with Four Quarters yesterday. And then Phyllis Peterson, who is just she's an awesome moderator and helper and supporter. So there's a lot of us out here. And folks, if you don't have money, you can support channels. You can hit the like, share, subscribe. Get this out there so that if somebody sees it that does have a little bit of funds that they can help with, then they will, but you got to share it. So share it, like it, subscribe to whatever channel that you're on, and be prepared for updates, because we're always in the fight, and we continue and continue and continue. And
Harvey, John Denicola is out there with AFA, Constitution State, in the area that the Angry Vet's in and all of that. And of course, we have, just top liver tyrants beware.
What's up, tyrants beware? Yeah, I remember when I first started my channel, and Mata was there, and John Denicola, and was in the chats. I think, no, I take that back. The guy Tag. I know everybody knows Tag. Y'all seen the guy in your comments? His name's Tag. That guy gave me my first super chat, and Loose Cunt was there right in the beginning, man. I almost quit my channel a couple of times, and Loose Cunt talked me out of it. So, shout out to him for that.
Yes, thank you, Loose Gun.
Yeah, when they pile those arrests on you, man, it's a sobering feeling. Or
you just had to take a break for a little while, but you've come back even stronger, Harvey, from that experience. So
and I don't know if people have noticed this or not, but I've kind of changed my style a little bit, and
yes,
I'm not gonna get into a whole lot of detail, but it's pretty noticeable. But I think it's better. I really do. I think it's better because I'm not as confrontational as I used to be, and because of that, they let me get closer. I don't know if you guys have been noticing how close I've been getting lately in recording. So, and I still don't put up with no shit, and I still tell the suspects their rights, but I'm really excited about it. So
yeah, and they always try to say, "Hey, don't interfere," and you say, it's not interference, so shut your mouth.
Yeah, but if you take them to that edge, they will arrest you for it, even though they know that it won't hold up in court. The process is the punishment, and they know that. And then they also know that if they arrest you and just claim ignorance, that qualified immunity will cover their ass. If they arrest you and admit they know that they arrested you unlawfully, then when the qualified immunity is gone. That's why these cops in Fort Worth won't admit, after 8, 9, 10 cases that they've lost between me and Mata, they still won't admit that they're wrong, or they won't admit that they've seen the outcome of these court cases. They're doubling and tripling down on stupid, and the reason because of that is because of qualified immunity. And that's another great thing about CJ, man. He's the only lawyer in this country that is actively trying to do away with qualified immunity. Like, literally, after what they did to him in Almost Park, he took it all the way to the Fifth Circuit, and now he's trying to take it to the Supreme Court because qualified immunity kept those guys from getting sued. And it's just ridiculous, man. If you watch the video of what they did to him, qualified immunity, because they say the cops are too stupid, they didn't know any better. That's what qualified immunity covers. It covers their ignorance of the law. It doesn't cover them to abuse the law and do whatever the hell they want. It only covers them of their ignorance of the law. They're too stupid to know the law, so they should have qualified immunity.
But
Yep.
but wait, Harvey, wait. Don't they always tell we the people or those of us that they pull over or stop or whatever that ignorance of the law doesn't mean you don't have to follow it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
excuses. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
no
they're on both.
excuse, and yet they've
They're on
got all
both
kinds
sides
of
of the
excuses.
coin. They
Yeah.
flip flop so much. Whenever it's convenient, for them to flop and act like they're smart. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Before they're arresting us, they pretend they know the law, and then after they arrest us, they act like, "Oh, I didn't know. I'm stupid. Qualified immunity." So
Yeah.
I've got two lawsuits filed in Fort Worth right now, and I need to call CJ tomorrow to find out where we're at with this. But right now, the lawyers are their only defense for these two Fort Worth police officers, which are Corporal Green and Officer Cotton, that I've filed lawsuits on. The lawyers for them filed a motion that they didn't know the laws and their ignorance should give them qualified immunity. And I'm pretty sure CJ's already responded to that claim, but you know, my cases might get dismissed over their ignorance that they
Well, they
claim.
should be dismissed
You know?
anyway. Not your lawsuit. Yeah, but
Yeah,
the charges that they had were dismissed, right? And so that's why you have a lawsuit.
the charge was dismissed. Absolutely, yeah. And we have filed a lawsuit, and if it gets dismissed because of qualified immunity, me and CJ have already talked about it. We are going to appeal it to the Fifth Circuit because they literally arrested me for not moving 3 feet.
Well, it
You know,
sounds
Manuel
like
was with me
that sounds like delete laws. It sounds like Chile. Same thing.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I mean, it's almost like they if they tell you to jump off
And
a
it's-
bridge and you say, you know, no, I'm not jumping off a bridge, and then they arrest you because you didn't follow their lawful order. You know?
Follow their unlawful order. Yeah. They try to make it sound like it's a lawful order.
Yeah, I told you to jump off that bridge, and you know, they'll try to claim qualified immunity on that. If somehow you survive the jumping off the bridge and they arrest you, you know, they'll claim qualified immunity on that. We're so stupid. We thought everything we say is the law.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, guys,
Somebody,
I think we pretty much, unless there's more that we need to know, you know, we've sent the pay links out, we've discussed everything. Is there more that we need to discuss, or
Yeah, I think we beat that horse. What do you guys think?
Mata, you got anything you want to add, dude?
No, that's about it. Yeah, just that's basically the gist of it. What I'm trying to get help with. That's all.
So you got the Cash App set up. Is there anything else?
PayPal.
What's that?
Yep.
Can you tell it to us
Yep.
real quick?
Hold on.
I put
Well, it goes-
your
it goes
Cash
to
App
his checking.
in the description.
Yeah, it's all in here. They've been spamming it on this channel anyway. All the pay links.
Yeah.
So
Look, get your feelings hurt if you don't raise a ton of money, because I set up a Give Send Go for Matt Reardon a month ago, and there's only $45 in that. So you've already raised as much money as that did.
No, I know.
yeah,
I know.
but as long as we keep
We'll keep
sharing
pressing
this,
it, man.
folks, keep sharing it, share it. And when people see this, they'll donate what they can.
Yeah.
So just keep sharing
Mata,
it out.
Share my live stream and Cliff's live stream on your community post, and that'll help boost the algorithm on it a little bit.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
anybody with a
share it. If
YouTube
you got
channel-
any community page, anybody that's got a community page, share this out. post it on your community page so that we can get Manuel some help here.
Yeah, share it on Facebook. Somebody might see this. Somebody might watch this tomorrow and decide to send CJ $1,000 down payment. So share, everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's what
I think
really
we should
helps.
wrap it up, because if it goes much longer, people are going to be discouraged to click on it.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and end this stream. I'm gonna go ahead and play our outro. And
all right, Manuel, hang up, dude.
Everybody have a good rest of your evening here.
In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred land. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. Through the storms and the darkest night, we'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight. For the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. Through the storms and the darkest night, we'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight. For the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the quiet of the night, we'll keep the watch, we'll hold on tight. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll stand tall. Together we'll rise, together we'll fall. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run